Yes. The Breakfast Club, bitches.
Who's donkey of the day today?
Let me get my vitamins out my pocket.
All right. Donkey of the day for Tuesday, November 17th, goes to all the Republicans in the House who don't know the difference between Breonna Taylor and Cori Bush. Now, Cori Bush is a Missouri Democrat representative-elect, and she said several of her Republican colleagues mistakenly called her Breonna Taylor. Okay, why were they mistaking Cori Bush for Breonna Taylor? Before we get to that, how can anyone mistake anyone who's alive to the late Breonna Taylor? Now, look, it's impossible for everyone to be up on everything. We all live in our own little worlds, okay? Whether we want to admit it or not, way before there was COVID-19, we were living in bubbles. And the thing about our bubbles, we swear whatever we up on in our bubble is the biggest thing everywhere. Okay, I say it all the time. Just because you don't know about something doesn't mean it's not popping somewhere. And just because you know about something doesn't mean it is popping everywhere. Okay, we be in our own bubbles. But Breonna Taylor, if it's a top 5 list of things that were mentioned in 2020, Breonna Taylor would be top 5 easily. I would say top 3. I can't think of too many things I heard more about this year. Of course, coronavirus would be number 1 on everybody's list. And then in no particular order, I would say Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Donald Trump, Kobe Bryant. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't think of too many things that were mentioned more in every household in America than those things. Like, those are all big, universal, broad topics that I thought everyone was up on. But according to Cori Bush, representatives in the House that are Republicans say, no. We have no idea what you are talking about. Let's go to CNN for the report, please.
Both the House and Senate back on Capitol Hill. Several newly elected members getting settled, including Congresswoman-elect Cori Bush of Missouri. She says many Republicans called her Breonna as she wore this Breonna Taylor mask on her first day working on the Hill, tweeting, quote, "It hurts, but I'm glad they'll come to know her name and story because of my presence here."
I feel Cori's fatigue. Being black is tiring. Okay, being black in a white supremacist world. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Whatever you did in spin class yesterday when you was on that Peloton bike doing that Beyonce-themed workout, however tired that made you, multiply that by 400 plus years with no coffee and tell me how fatigued you would be. Okay, black people just tired, man. All right, number one, the weight of knowing how Breonna Taylor was killed and then knowing there was no justice for her, that being heavy on your heart at all times. Just add that weight to the weight of all the other times we've seen unjust things happen to black people, and it's just heavy. And then it gets tiresome having to explain not only who we are, but who our fallen comrades in blackness are that we choose to wear on our mask, okay? I refuse to believe that these Republicans in the House didn't know who Breonna Taylor was. And if they knew and forgot, why are dead black people so forgettable to you? Maybe it is all a blur to them because they don't really care to begin with, okay? This is more awkward than making a yo mama joke and the person's mom is dead. This is more awkward than asking about a person who's passed away. How's such and such doing? Tell them I asked about them. Oh, I would, but they're dead. Lord have mercy. That's when you just want to back into the bushes like Homer Simpson, okay? I need a Southwest Airlines want to get away fare right now, okay? And Cori Bush is handling this better than most of us would, and that's why she's in the position she's in. But most of us are not her. Okay, let's listen to what Cori Bush had to say about people calling her Breonna Taylor.
First of all, I am Breonna Taylor as far as I could be a black woman murdered in my bed tonight, you know? But I am not Breonna Taylor. This Breonna Taylor was murdered in her bed at night, and she does not have justice. She was murdered by the police. We have to stretch ourselves and pay attention to what's happening in other parts of the country. But this has been national news for a long time. People have protested in the streets with this name, and it just saddens me that people in leadership, people that want to be in leadership, don't know the struggles that are happening to black people in this country, and it's just disheartening, and it was hurtful, absolutely hurtful. I didn't hear it once. I didn't hear it twice. I heard it several times. I'm being called, Breonna Taylor today, and, but it's okay, because we'll educate and we'll make sure that people know who she is, what she stood for, that she's someone who deserves justice right now.
Dropping the clues box for Cori Bush. Better than me. I'm still working on myself. Okay, that's why I'm in therapy once a week. I'm petty. Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. No, I would have took it right there to the floor with them. Those Republicans in the House would have called me, Breonna Taylor, deceased sister, a person whose name has been top of the mind awareness all year. I would have started calling every old white man in there George Washington. There would have been so many hi. Are you Mr. Jefferson? Thomas Jefferson, how are you? Oh, you must be Abraham. How are you, Mr. Lincoln? F that, okay? I can pretend to be clueless, too. Is it arrogant of me to think everyone, at least in America, should know who Breonna Taylor is? Shouldn't that be top of the mind awareness for so many people? Even if you don't know who she is, you should know who she isn't. And she's not Cori Bush or any other sister that's alive and well, because she got killed at the hands of the police and justice was not served. Please let Remy Ma give the Republicans in the House who kept mistaking Cori Bush for Breonna Taylor the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. You stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb?
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for that donkey today.
Yes, ma'am.
Donkey of the Day is brought to you by the law office of Michael S. Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say the bull if you've been hurt in a construction accident. That's pound 250 from your cell and say the bull.